Alright, hey, what is going on, everybody? It's boy CJD bringing another video, and today I'm bringing a special video. We are going to be talking about 5 weapons that we are going to pull out from the archive. Weapons that used to be sunset within Destiny, but since sunsetting itself was sunset, we can now bring these weapons back out from our vault, from our collections, and use them in today's game. So, if you guys enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you are new. About 97% of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you enjoy, love to have you a part of this channel. And a quick disclaimer before we get into the weapons, these are not listed in any specific order or reason, so even though I go in a certain direction number-wise, that does not mean that I am ranking one above the other. It was just for my pure organizational purposes, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first weapon is going to be Exit Strategy. This is a Gambit Ritual SMG. Now, what I have been using, Threat Detector, Swashbuckler, or Surrounded. Those are really the 3 perks that I look at in the 3rd and 4th column. What I've found while playtesting, I thought this was really good for PvP. I enjoyed using it, as you can see in these clips here. It just felt nice, smooth, stability-wise, range-wise. I'm definitely going to be doing a full-on review, but I felt like it played very well in that side of the game. For PvE, it has a very good perk combo. I like the Surrounded Threat Detector combination, or even if you want to go with something like Swashbuckler, which I might try out more, because with my Stormcaller build, I prioritize a lot of ability regeneration plus Chain Lightning, and a lot of the Chain Lightning I'm able to do with Stormcaller comes from my melee. So having that little synergy with Swashbuckler and getting extra damage is very nice. We also have this weapon being that of an SMG, which means anti-barrier rounds. One of my least favorite champions to deal with because they like to stop damage and heal. So having this is going to be a good asset for you if you are going into higher level content. And then of course Adaptive Frame. I think Adaptive Frame SMGs feel pretty good. I like the archetype, and I think it's definitely worth pulling out of the vault from Gambit. Alright, and the next weapon we have here is Not Forgotten. This is the Ritual Hand Cannon from the competitive playlist for Crucible. Back when competitive Warmind, I believe, you had to max out your rank, you had Luna's Howl, and then Not Forgotten was the second hand cannon released in that set. This one comes with Zen Moment and Magnificent Howl. Fantastic for PvP in my eyes. Just does good amount of damage. It's a 140 precision frame. Magnificent Howl is a perk. Really allows you to be able to do a lot of damage. Getting that perk activated, getting increased damage on your next shot, creates potential for 2-tap. Good for overload champions in PvP, so it's also versatile. You don't have to just stick to PvP with this. And again, like I mentioned, 140 precision frame. And one key thing I looked at with this hand cannon is the 79 aim assistance for this weapon. It is going to be very nice, clean, crisp when you are firing it, whether it be in PvP or PvE. This is also, again, purchasable still and available to this day. Moving on to our third weapon is Fellwinter's Lie. This is another ritual weapon. I'm not sure if it was tied to a specific mode. I don't believe it was. But for PvP, we have Opening Shot and Slide Shot. Let me talk about that for just a minute. I thought for both PvE and PvP, the bullet spread being a lot tighter with the shot package frame, I thought played fantastic. And with that, I think it's a great combination for PvP. Having Opening Shot, Slide Shot with a range masterwork really allows it to be able to compete range-wise with some of the other shotguns that we see today. And I think it is pretty easy for you to be able to get a one-shot kill in PvP. Moving on to the PvE aspect of the weapon, we have Vorpal Weapon and Surplus. I do think that is a really good combination as well. Not going to just say, hey, PvP, it's got a great combo, PvE. I think both of the combinations for both aspects of the game are very good. Vorpal, though, is absolutely, just hands down, this weapon is a damage machine. If you want to go ahead and go against any form of zealot or champion, you are going to be able to put out a great amount of damage. Now, obviously, if you try to use this in most raids, unless you're facing like Nezrak or Rulk, a opponent that is going to be right in front of your face, more ranged bosses aren't going to be as helpful. But as you see here, we face champions in all aspects of high-level content, and this shotgun absolutely just tears right through them like it's nothing. So I think, for sure, it is a key asset to have in your arsenal. Alright, up next we have Loaded Question, a Vanguard Ritual Fusion Rifle with Reservoir Burst and Auto-Loading Holster. Things I like about this weapon and that are worth pulling it out of the archive is a high impact frame. I really enjoy using this for both PvE and PvP. PvP, you're able to kill enemies at a good distance, and I feel like it's a good shut-down weapon. So if you want to use this in something like Trials, where you're just trying to get someone quick around a corner, I think you can benefit for that. So I like to use it, and I've always enjoyed using it for PvP. Moving on to the PvE side of it, what I like about this fusion rifle is Reservoir Burst with auto-loading holster. I think this is going to be good for champion swapping, stun swapping. Basically, you want to go ahead and stun your champion, swap to loaded question, hit it with Reservoir Burst, swap back, go ahead, stun it again, and continue that chain of swapping to get that 25% bonus damage from Reservoir Burst. It is one of my favorite perks. I really enjoy using it on the fusion rifles, and I think it is just overall a good perk to have. Now, I don't typically use it on the lightweight frames, but on this kind of frame, I think it just pairs and meshes beautifully with the weapon, and it's going to allow you to be able to get a good amount of kills. Alright, and the last weapon that I think is worth pulling out of your vault and the archive to pull into today's day and age and episode of Echoes is Chain of Command. This machine gun comes with Osmosis, Adaptive Munitions, or you can pair Adrenaline Junkie with Demolitionist. That latter pair pairs well for grenade builds. Typically, I like using certain grenades if I'm on like Titan, or if you want to go with a more hunter-based invisibility build, or with my Warlock, you can also use the Storm Collar for its chain lightning purposes for ag clear. Also, though, this weapon is great against any shield. It has adaptive munitions and osmosis, so whatever you are going to be against shield-wise, this will do a solid job against it, and then it can change its element type to whatever your grenade is. With it being adaptive frame, I think it also does a very solid job when it comes to doing damage to bosses, champions, or whatever you may be up against. I think it's just a solid weapon all around and worth giving it a try in PvE. In PvP against other Guardians, it could be solid against Gambit as well. It will do a good amount of damage. But honestly, with heavy weapons, it's kind of hard to really use them in a player versus player setting, mainly because in PvP you don't get heavy every time around. You could if you hunt for it, but I don't recommend doing that. And in Gambit, well, who plays Gambit anymore, so I don't even really look at it. So, and with that, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm really glad that sunsetting was reversed. Not all of these may have been sunset, but nonetheless, now that that has been reverted, we can go back into our collections and really look at some of the old weapons that we had and bring them back in today's game. And with that, I do plan on doing some individual reviews for old ritual weapons. So let me know what you guys think of my list of 5 weapons to bring out of the archives into episode of Echoes. And if you try them, let me know your thoughts individually on each specific weapon, whichever one you may try. And I will see you all in the next one.